Hello. Just bringing up the game now. I'm a little late because my laptop was freezing repeatedly, and that's a sign that I have to restart it. So I did, and then it was updating itself. Whew. As always, I have pre-stream anxiety. Hopefully, it'll get over itself soon enough. Okay. So, let me open up Twitch. Last time, Rip to Kombucha, he died. I forgot. Dude died. And then the heliosphere came, and we ignored the tiresome antics of the leader, the captain. Now we're going to meet all of our new friends. Cal looks like he's been run ragged. Hey, Goops, he says, leaning against a pallet of building supplies scavenged from the heliopause. It's called the heliopause, not the heliosphere. Hold up, let me change that. That's in the, that's... I think I said that twice. Heliosphere. Where did I put that? Heliosphere. Yep, heliosphere, right there in the go live announcement. Heliopause. Okay. What's up? I don't have a lot of time. I gotta get these over to geoponics, and then we gotta get plants in the ground. Tammy is standing outside the new lounge, looking in one of the windows. There's so many new people, she breathes. I know they're all probably lovely, but I've never made a friend who I didn't grow up with. What if they don't like me? Oh, here are the new ones. You've seen Nomi Nomi around since the heliopause landed. They're around your age and barely 1.5 meters tall, only coming up to your shoulder. You've never seen anyone dressed as strangely as they do. Hi! Their voice is high-pitched and quick. I'm Nomi Nomi. It's short for nomination. They do a little twirl and bow. You introduce yourself and ask what they do for fun. Well, Nomi begins. Kind of a bit of everything. I like designing outfits and reading manga and learning about dinosaurs and cool xenofauna and robots and aliens and watching anime and playing Laser Fable, of course. Mostly lately I play Laser Fable. It's so fun to play it outside in the great big endless outdoors. Nomi Nomi dances in a circle, waving their arms and gesturing at their surroundings. Challenge them to a game of Laser Fable. You're on! Nomi Nomi helps you install it on your HoloPalm and explains the rules. Laser Fable is an augmented reality game where you bounce hologram lasers off real objects nearby. It's speed-based, so you're running around and bumping into each other, and there are extended house rules about when it's legal to block each other's lasers. It's a combat challenge. Five, 4, 4, 3. How about this one? That one's better. Then we have 35. 4, 3, 2. Push through. Ooh. 4, 3, 3. Forty stress. Right on, friendo. Nomi gives you a high five, then with a couple quick flicks on their gauntlet gives you a kudos for winning. They explain this is how they always play Laser Fable with the kids from Heliosphere. Is it heliopause or heliosphere? That's why I probably got it wrong. Except, they mostly don't want to play anymore. They say they're too old for it. They just want to be soldiers now. Except Rex. He's still cool. The colony's full of new people. Everywhere you look, you see a stranger. It's disorienting after growing up in a closed spaceship. You never expected to meet any other humans that weren't made here on Vertumna. You bump straight into one of those new people while you're jogging through the colony. Oof. He laughs and holds you steady, brushing the imaginary dust off of you and giving you a wide-fanged smile. Hey, it's one of the kids from the heliopause. You think his name is Rex. Hey, I'm Goops. Welcome to Vertumna. You stick out your hand and shake his, and he laughs. You notice his wiggling dog ears. They can really move independently. Pleased to meet you, he says. I'm Rex, and I love to shake a paw. I know a ton of tricks. He winks. Rex puts his hand against his cheek, looking cute and lost. Hey, since I'm new here, do you think you could help me find the construction yard? I thought I might apply for a job there. For you? Anything. His eyes widen as you wink suggestively, and he grins, wiggling his ears and lolling his tongue out like a dog. So adorable. I might just take you up on that, he says. You tell him everything is a bit changed since the heliopause landed, but you think the construction yard is still near command. He thanks you for the directions. Destructions is what I almost said. It's Mom! You've barely seen your mom since the heliopause arrived. When you do, she looks frail. Like all of her strength got used up last year and she's only just starting to recover. Except, instead of relaxing, she's hard at work rebuilding the geoponics domes. It must be hard for her to shake the fear it might happen again. Being able to load your tray full of food at the canteen is still a luxury you don't take for granted. Sometimes you make up a tiffin for your mom so she doesn't miss lunch. Hey, Goobs, she says, smiling as you approach. Is that lunch? I've been smelling the caramelized onions all morning. I can't wait. You deliver the tiffin into her grateful hands, and she cracks the lid and takes a big inhale. She smiles. You know, people used to give thanks before meals back on Earth. I think I can understand why. I'm just thankful you're here, Mom. She reaches over and ruffles her hair. You're a good kid, Goobs, she says. She looks at you a second, weighing whether to continue. I know we don't talk about it, but I know how hard you busted your butt back then, making sure the colony didn't starve. When you're fighting for your life, that's when you know the true measure of a person, she continues solemnly. I wish you didn't have to be tested at such a young age, but you really showed what you were made of. I'm so proud of you, kid. Heck yes! Okay, anything else I can pick up? Oh, it's this dude. This new boy from the heliosphere is a couple years older than you. He's very handsome, and the missing arm gives him a heroic, battle-scarred vibe. He stands tall and ready for action even though it's a normal, boring day. The other recruits milling around the garrison give him a wide, respectful berth. He sees you staring and gives you a curt nod. My name is Vase, Lieutenant Olivacious, he says, considering you with a glint of challenge in his eye. And you are? How do you introduce yourself? I'm a soldier like you. His expression doesn't change. Is that right? He says with the air of a boy who's hard to impress. Nice to meet you, Goobs. I hear it's been a rough couple years for the colony. Lucky thing our heliopause came along just in time, he continues. Don't worry, we have some of the best soldiers. The very best. We'll keep the colony safe. Are you one of those best soldiers? We train as a team, but... Vase says, then clears his throat. Yes, I've won more than my share of zero-G judo matches and virtual riflery tournaments. Even competing against adults, he adds. Wow, you're pretty cool. You act impressed and makes some embarrassingly clear signals that you find him attractive. Well, he says, nodding like he understands, aren't you intriguing? Maybe we'll see more of each other in self-defense classes. Maybe. Right now, though, I'm just collecting things. I don't know if Mother knew when I was born how convenient my genetic modification would be in times of crisis, Tang says, rubbing her eyes with her forearm so as not to contaminate her gloves. I can work 3 times as long as the other lab assistants, with very little decline in cognitive function. Oh, I don't have anything for her. Can you believe Yudicott? Mars sneers, tapping away at her holopalm. She's a washed-up old bureaucrat who has no idea how to lead us in a crisis. She's totally given up. She should just step down so someone else can actually get things done. I can get into a debate with her. What am I gonna do? I'm going outside. That's not it. I'm going outside. I believe I already did the master event for Survey the Plains. Yeah, it's worth trying again. Or Forge in the Valley, actually. Let's do that. Chief Surveyor Utopia stops you and Dis near the depot. Feel that? She asks. You can feel a kind of ominous distant thumping, pulsing regularly through the grounds. If you stand still, you can feel it vibrate up into your own body, too, like a massive global pulse. Utopia says, checking a readout on her holopalm. I reckon it's naturally occurring, she concludes, but it's giving me the willies all the same. You two better check it out. Mind you stick together and take readings on the way in case it's dangerous. You and Dis look at each other, excited. You follow the thumping, now an audible noise growing louder, west, until you've roughly triangulated its location. You know you're getting close, but it sounds like it's coming from all around you, and your instruments aren't precise enough to help. Follow the sound. Same difference. Five. About 5-4? We got 36 left. I'm gonna have to go home after that. You find a machine? An ancient broken down machine, like a small pyramid-shaped building made from some kind of dark stone or bone that looks almost like it grew that way. Except it isn't broken. It's just so very old and overgrown, it looks more like a pile of rubble and roots than a building or engine or whatever it is. Still, a thumping noise comes from inside it. The vibrations are strong here, making your guts feel weird. You don't notice it at first, but there's a curious path on the ground moving away from the machine, a line half a meter wide where the dirt is a little more worn and bare. It heads off in a straight line to the west, or coming from the west. Could animals have made this path? Or the thumper itself? Marvel at it. You run your hand over its pitted, vibrating surface. How could something so unbelievably old still work? It's definitely not natural. You can even see something like writing carved deep into the not-quite rock. This starts making unk, unk, unk noises under his breath to the beat of the thumper. It's a pretty sick beat. Hey, how you doing? Eventually, you head back to share your findings with Utopia. Totally an alien civilization, Dis insists. How you doing? Utopia scratches her head. I suppose, maybe, she says. You said it looks ancient, right? Perhaps there could have been another civ here long ago. We have found other signs, but nothing active like this. It seems to be pointing west or receiving something. She snaps her fingers. There's some right ugly ridge lines out there that have kept us from checking that direction, but we got gliders and motivation. That's half the battle. She makes a note in her holopalm. I'll open up the western resting ridges for surveyors, she says, then grins. Whew! Say that 3 times fast. Western resting ridges. Yep, that's difficult to say fast. Hope your weekend's been alright. It's been very sleepy. Today's Saturday. So yesterday I didn't get any work. That was Thursday. It was an annoying transcript. This is right. It's definitely aliens. This nods solemnly. +2 perception, +2 biology. I've got to chill out. It's pollen. Is this where I chill out? No, that's the depot. Where's the new place that I chill out at? Is it over here? Relax on the walls. That's not what I want to do. I forgot that I can go chill with the animals. Should be over here. I still only have the one animal friend. Relax in the park. Your mom is here, pulling weeds and taking soil readings to make sure the conditions are right for the flowers. She works on this garden like it's her own child. Probably even more so because the garden can't spend all day in the creche. Let's tend to the animals. Wait. Let's bring this up. Not that. Traits. My engineering is only 13. Combat doesn't need to. Let's check our gear. +5 to animals or +1? +3 bonus to straights. I'll try that. Should I tend to the animals? Where am I at on animals? 58. That's worth it. An unusual face greets you as you enter the barn. Tangerine looks terribly out of place here. Crisp white and clean in among all the mud and excrement. She's clearly hesitant to even take a step further in, and winces when you wheel up to her with your wheelbarrow of muck destined for the compost heap. Goops, I've come to see what good work you've done here, she says. Really good work. I can see that. A bristle slug loads from its pen, and Tang clears her throat. It's too bad most of vertumnant animals are so violent, she says, lowering her voice. She nods approvingly to the bristle slug pen. If only they could all be tamed like this. You have a point, Tay? Of course I do, she huffs. It's called making conversation. I'm here on behalf of Chief Engineer Instance, she continues. We need access to these bristle slugs. What for? Cal says, popping his head up from one of the stalls. It better not be for any weird experiments. For your information, it is for experiments, Tang retorts. Important ones, too. More important than whatever you're doing. We need living vertumnant creatures to incubate a new anti-venom, she says. I need samples. Skin, hair, blood, flesh, eggs, teeth. Cal throws his rake to the ground. What? He exclaims. No way. I'm not letting you take their teeth. What's wrong with you? Tang rolls her eyes. Oh, like you can't just breed more, she says, or just capture them. There's a whole planet full of animals out there, isn't there? She turns to you. Goops, come on. If we develop a new anti-venom, it'll help keep our explorers safe. I'll even name it after you. Or him. Whatever. She sticks her tongue out at Cal, who scowls. hard to write becomes 5. Cal's not gonna like this. Tang smiles primly. Of course I think this is best, she says. Besides, if you have a problem, you can take it up with Instance. Cal tries to protest more, but she sweeps past you both before she can get a word in. You get the distinct impression her heels would click if not for the mud. Cal looks uncomfortable. That was weird, right? He says. Your dad hadn't said anything about animal testing. It just really doesn't feel right. He shivers. They can get pretty creepy over there in engineering, he says. I just hope they don't hurt the bristle slugs too bad. Why did they need to test stuff on vertuminous animals if the antivenom is for humans anyway? Get to work. Oh, that's a good question. I just trust Tang. +7 animals, +2 empathy, +8 kudos, +10 stress. Hey, Dad! I just agreed to something I don't think you would have approved of. Help him with animals. Your dad is helping 2 bristle slugs who've gotten tangled on each other while... Well, maybe they were wrestling? Your dad doesn't want to go into the details. He hefts up the larger one and you carefully pull apart their bristling spikes, being careful not to get jabbed yourself. 10 minutes later, they're back at it again. Your dad shrugs. The heart wants what it wants, I guess. They're trying to reproduce, apparently. Get our combat up. You and Nemi are practicing judo moves, checking each other into... Notice that your cards are getting higher numbers? Yeah, they get higher the more, the older you grow up. Because they're all memory cards. So if something's really recent and it'll be like a higher number usually. Wondering if it's like an analogy of things get easier as you're more experienced. Yeah. That too. Get fresh with Nemi. Hold up. You and Nemi are practicing judo moves, chucking each other into semi-deflated poof shrooms, which have been set up like mats. You're learning to throw, but also to fall properly without getting hurt. It's pretty fun. The enormous mushrooms are surprisingly springy and bounce you right back up. Get fresh with Nemi. You time your throw just right to have your arm around her waist just a little bit longer than necessary, and give her a wink as you toss her gently into the bouncy mat. She blushes and scrambles to her feet, looking away. When it's her turn, you feel your heart beating fast. What's she gonna do? She flips you super hard in response and laughs her beautiful, wonderful laugh as the poof shroom mat sends you flying. Zoom! Does that mean she likes you back? You aren't sure, but love certainly hurts. How silly of them. Really? Push through, 50 stress. +8 combat, +1 animals, +15 stress, +1 friendship with Nemi and Vase. Oh shoot! I forgot it was Vertumnalia! Damn. I should probably go back to an autosave. Yeah, right here. And just go take a break. Wait. Over here, take a break. With the animals. The garden is full of people from the heliopause. They move around in clumps of 2 or 3, gasping in awe at every new flower. The helio is much faster than the stratospheric was, so they spent a lot less time and space to get here. Their memories of Earth are much more fresh. 1+ bond with Pet Fricky. -2 to neighboring cards. Blech. The Vertumnalia Festival is a welcome day of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic year. Despite some lingering rivalry between the two factions, Vertinalia is a chance for the Helios and the Stratus to come together and appreciate the bounty of the planet. At least, that's what the adults say. As Governor Loom takes the stage to address the colony, you can't help but notice the crowd has segregated itself according to their ship of origin. Rex shoots you away from over on the Stratus side, and Noma makes a silly face. Vase is surrounded by other young soldiers, all looking sharp in their heliopause uniforms. With Dis standing beside you, you wonder if the two ships will ever feel like one colony. A fanfare plays over the square's announcement system. Loom's honor guards do a complex drill with their drone rifles. "Greetings, people of Vertinalia!" Loom says, his voice ringing out over the square. "We may be far from our beautiful Earth, but we can still celebrate and be thankful for what we have here. We've worked hard to save this beleaguered little colony from the brink of destruction and should be proud of our work." The Helios cheer. Your side of the square is more quiet. "I know some of you have been asking, Loom, how are you going to do it all by yourself? How are you going to run the colony, solve everyone's problems, turn this planet into a paradise, and look good?" Loom strikes a pose to a smattering of polite applause. "Well, I have the answer for you," he continues. "The old council made a lot of bad choices, like illegally leaving Earth, but I believe in second chances. So I've appointed the original department heads to my own council, Loom's Council 2.0. Better not disappoint me," he laughs and makes finger guns at the department heads at the foot of his podium. "Stay on your toes, Stratus. I also want to promise everyone here today that we're going to make Vertumna safe for humans," Loom says. "The next time those bastard Xenos attack, we're going to blow them to so many little pieces, there won't be enough left to wipe off our boots. We've already got the defenses," he says, gesturing broadly to the new, taller, thicker walls. "And we're building homes for everyone. Homes where people can raise children again, knowing that our military men and women are keeping us safe." Does he have his own Cybertruck or something? He definitely would. He's definitely the type to have a Cybertruck. He's that obnoxious. And pretentious. Big cheers from both sides this time. Some of the colonists around you even have tears in their eyes, especially those who lost family in the last attack. Loom goes on for a while, lionizing the heliopause's military strength and casting subtle digs at your failed colony experiment. Finally, the crowd disperses to set up the square for the afternoon festivities, some traditional and some new. At the tables, Aunt Anne and the kids are setting out the spread for dinner. There's an unimaginable amount of food thanks to the heliopause's huge ration surplus, and the piles upon piles of xenomeat from the hunting parties for those who can stomach it. Anne is all smiles, clearly making an effort to move on as Loom mandated despite still mourning her lost son Calm. But not even the festive atmosphere can force a smile into Nemi's face. "We should be mourning, not celebrating." Nemi nods. "We should have skipped Vertinalia this year," she says quietly. "We can't celebrate being alive when people died." The chime sounds to announce that the square is set up for the annual competitions. Oh, I'm not strong enough for any of these. Oops. What? I can't change gear? I can't. Nope, I can't. Let's ditch the event with Dis. You head off to the wall where you find Dis. "Oh, it's you," he says. The slightly cooler breeze coming from the forest gently tussles his hair. "What do you want?" We can be Polly, right? Polly in the game? You try to say it suggestively, but you aren't sure he understands. "Oh," Dis mumbles. He picks out a loose thread on his sleeve, worrying a hole near the cuff for his thumb. "That's cool, I guess." By mutual silent agreement, you and Dis stake out places on the wall a comfortable distance apart. It's peaceful. "This place sucks now," Dis says after a few minutes of silence. "I can't believe we got taken over by a bunch of stupid soldiers, and everyone's down there playing nice with them and pretending like they're going to help us." He looks out towards the wilderness. "What's out there is bigger than their guns. I know it." After the festivities, the mood in the colony is a lot lighter. You see people smiling easier and often see mixed groups of Helios and Stratus socializing together. It feels like the first time people have actually let themselves relax. Okay, getting me some water. I did record the latest Digimon episode earlier today. And then I edited it, and now all I have to do next is caption it. It's an hour long this time. I didn't mean to make it an hour long. I was just trying to do something, but ended up not working out. Should I give it to Tammy? The flower I just picked up? Nomi Nomi. I need greater creativity. I might give it to Mars. Oh, you love Nomi Nomi's hair? Yeah, Nomi Nomi has a really nice hair. It's all... I'm jealous of it, honestly. And I love the little face tattoo she has, the little hearts. They're so cute. Here, have a flower. Eventually. Okay. I can give him a cake. He'll probably like the cake. Aw, thanks, Goobs, but I'm trying to watch my figure. Try me again on my birthday. I won't be able to resist. He likes cakes. Like most people do. Do I have anything for anyone else? Medicinal roots? Do I have any medicinal roots? Because I could give that to Tangent. No, I don't have any. It's worth studying engineering. You hear a scuttling of metal legs. What the heck? And a strange knee-high robot bursts into your engineering lab, going full tilt on its 6 spidery legs. I've missed part of the show. So many new characters from the new ship. It's not, didn't miss that much. It's just a few new characters. There's Loom, there's Vase, who's a soldier, Nomi Nomi, who's really creative, Rex. I think that's it. Rex is the dog dude. He has the dog ears, really cute. But that's really all the those are the only new characters really. It slams into a wall hard enough to knock itself down. It seems to be having trouble getting back up again and is flailing its metal legs around dangerously. This is why I need more engineering. Smash it before it hurts someone. Hoo-hoo! Oh, I just got -5 kudos for smashing the robot. Ho-ho! Professor Hal laughed sheepishly. This little bot got away from me again, as though it's busting out of the robotics lab. Wow, a robotics lab? Yeah, they put me in charge of the robotics lab on the new ship, Hal explains. Between you and me, I think they probably asked Instance first, but she was too busy. Hal looks down at the busted robot sadly. Some of these little helpers haven't been serviced since they left Earth. They'll be so useful, once they work properly. Well, except for this one. You kind of trashed it. If you want to learn how to fix it up, study up, Hal says, stooping to gather up the pieces. I'll put it aside for you. When you're ready, you can help me figure out what it does. Damn, that didn't do me any good. Wow, it's a straight 5. Push through. +5 engineering, +2 reasoning, +15 stress, -2 kudos, +1 friendship with Nomi Nomi, and Tangent. Let me look at my friendship. We're at 53 out of 100 with tangent and 55 out of 100 with dis. 25 with Mars, 44 with Tammy. So it's worth working on Tammy. Oh, and I forgot that we can go give Rex a hug. Hold up. If we give Rex a hug, it'll make his friendship go up a little bit. Rex folds you into his arms, bending his whole body to you. He smells warm and a little spicy, like clean sweat and sunshine. It's a good hug, the kind that makes you instantly just a little more relaxed. He's gonna be wary of us because we have high combat. Not even high combat, we just have some combat. Who was I gonna work on? Tammy and Tangent. I don't have anything for Tammy though. I need empathy 40 or greater for the random act of kindness. And then to study with Tangent, 40 reasoning. We got 30. It's pretty close. Apply for the job. You tell Hal you're interested in the job. That's great news, he says, beaming. You're one of my best students, Goobs. We'll start you off as my assistant for the younger kids, but I'll bet you'll be helping the older ones in no time. There's no shame in that, though. Everyone learns at their own pace. As you know, I hold classes every day. Just come by whenever you have time. I'm sure a smart young person like yourself is in high demand around here. Okay, what does tutoring do for me? +3 reasoning, +1 empathy. Hey Goobs, you made it! Hal claps you soundly on the back and welcomes you to class. Everyone, you know Goobs. They're here to help you with your classwork, so don't be afraid to ask them if you're stuck on something. He turns to you. Thanks for helping out. Some kids are here because they need a little extra help, others because they work best with a partner. No judgment. There are lots of different ways to learn in the classroom. You settle in to help the younger students learn how to use their holopalms to access the HoloNet, Congruence's massive database. Congruence has... Ooh.
Giant _A's just redeemed hydrate.
Thank you.
Giant _A's just redeemed posture check.
Okay, my posture has been checked. Congruence has everything they could ever need. Music, movies, games, novels and comics, a calculator, a timer, an encyclopedia, textbooks, the colony social media, specialized tools for different jobs like architectural holograms. It's a massively powerful tool and it's in their literal hands. They're mostly interested in the games. Some understand it less than others. Why do we gotta read about stuff? Nougat whines, poking dejectedly at her holo screen. The skin around her newly implanted holopalm looked a little red, like she keeps picking at it. I just wanna go play. That looks infected. You take a closer look at Nougat's holopalm implant. The edges where it meets the skin are peeling back, and it looks red and puffy. No wonder she's having a hard time concentrating. It looks like it really hurts. You take her to medbay, put some antibiotic cream on it, and wrap her hand so she stops picking at it. She's excused from this lesson until her implant heals properly. So you spend some time with her afterwards, showing her how your own holopalm works. The quieter environment of the medbay seems to help her concentrate, and soon she's zipping through Congruence's archives on her own. Looks like you're pretty good at this tutoring business. Get to work! +7 reasoning, +1 empathy, +12 kudos, +10 stress, +1 friendship with Nomi Nomi. New perk. Blue cards give +1 in mental challenges. That's great. my reasoning isn't high enough still. It's at 35. And Anemone is getting closer to Vase. Give her a cake. Oh, yum yum yum! Looks really tasty, Nomi exclaims. I'll eat cake any day of the week. Survey the ridge. I still have a bunch of stuff I can still do in the valley. So I'm gonna go there first. Plus it gives me all these collectibles. A whole swarm of Ricky. They aren't so bad. Gonna try to catch the bristle slug. My animals is greater than 40. I guess I need more combat. Let me ignore it first. Gear. Let's add 10 to combat. Oh no! It's gone! You can always count on me to reload a save. Okay. Change gear. Let's try to catch it. Five, 4, 4. Ooh. Yeah, this isn't gonna work out. Five, 5, 4, 2. Man. I'm gonna use a crystal cluster. Damn it, that's just as bad. Okay, what if I change some of these to reds? Just one of them to red, I guess. Now it's 33. 3, 2, 1. Huh. 1, 2, 3. What if I change them to blue instead? It's closer. Come on. Oh, push through. I'm gonna try and make it 20. You're pretty sure this one is a female because it has bristles on its butt as well as its head. Her eyes are a deep green. You think you'll call her Emerald. She seems calm in the net, like she isn't too worried about where she might be going. You crouch down with a clump of leaves and she sticks her muzzle through the net and eats them right out of your hand. Her whiskers tickle. You pat her forehead and pack her off to the geoponics barns. You could visit her there later if you like. Did I just get a new pet? +2 perception, +2 biology. What? How do I equip a pet? Friends. Doesn't show the Reiki. Oh, it makes a noise when you tap on it. I'm gonna go hang out with my new pet. Emerald, the bristle slug. Goobs! Your mom's voice rings through the garden before you even see her. You and Squidderly Peterson pause in your tracks, then your Reiki slithers away and hides under a bush. Your mom thunders down the path. Where is the little pink bastard? She hollers, waving around a gardening trowel. They ate my begonias! Your mom's been nurturing a couple pots of begonias, beautiful flowering bushes with delicate blooms. Like most plants from Earth, they're exceedingly precious. Once the seed bank is used up, the only way to make more is to successfully propagate them here on Vertumna. Squidderly Peterson is innocent! You hear a hacking noise from the underbrush. Squidderly Peterson creeps out from under the bush and, as if on cue, porks up a wet mass of pink and yellow petals. Your mom fixes her angry gaze on you. Your pet is a menace, she exclaims. At least spiders back home ate other pests. This one is a pest. She puts her hands on her hips. You should just release the damn thing. Who knows what it's going to grow up to be? Everything here just keeps growing. Nothing on this planet knows when to stop. Like my begonias, perfectly contained in their little pots. They knew when to stop. I'm sorry. I'll train them better. Your mom points at her eyes, then points at Squidderly Peterson. I'm watching you, she mutters. Finally got rid of the 0. Jesus. I have another pet, a new pet. Let me see. I'm just gonna Google it. I was a teenage exocolonist. Equip pets. Oh. The Ricky... You can own the game. There's a card and achievement if you have all 4 pets at once. So it's a card that I have equipped. Oh, I still have too many of these. So if I didn't have this, I would still have the Reiki equipped. I don't know. I don't get it. Time to go foraging once again. to it. Empathy challenge. These challenges are now very tough because I still have all these little kid ones. This is a strange approach, but you've seen it work in vids. Sometimes music can soothe the savage beast. You sing a lullaby, and the great beast looks at you with curiosity. Eventually, its eyes drift closed, and it settles down, tucking its many legs underneath it. It must have been very tired to begin with, like a toddler who skipped their nap. Leave it. You leave the creature and move on. That was the last thing I could do. Let's follow it. Oh, this might be the alien, actually. Eight, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 8. No, 4, 5, 6. 3? I give up. And it's glow. Gear. To add to combat. Where's the crystal cluster? Just gotta look for it. And then I can go to the next day. I would see it. Relax in the park. Everyone in geoponics is on edge during glow. It's close to the colony walls, so if there's an attack on this side, you might lose years and years of progress on these fields, or worse, the geoponics domes. There's nothing to do about it except hope that the defenses are strong enough to hold. That sense of helplessness makes it hard to work. Just get rid of that. You're relaxing in your quarters with your dad when you hear the colony siren. The enemy is here. Your dad looks up from his novel. Huh, seems early this year. We should head to the shelter in the lounge. You've been drilling on new evacuation procedures for the past month. There's no need to be a hero now that there are so many new soldiers from the Helio. It's probably best if you just follow instructions and head to the lounge with your dad. I wonder what happens if we go to the lounge. The mood in the lounge is anxious, even though the colony's defenses are much better this year. Over hushed conversations, you can hear younger children crying inconsolably. Mars and Tangent are here, quietly reading something on Tang's holopalm. Some of the civilian kids from the heliopause are here too, including Rex and Nomi. Vase and Nemi are absent, probably serving guard duty. The only two missing are Cal and Tammy. Your dad runs a query through congruence to find them. After a few seconds, he smiles and quickly closes the window. Don't worry, kiddo, he says. They're okay. You settle in to pass the time. Someone brings a word that it's not a faceless out there, at least. You hear a few loud booms from outside, so strong you can feel the shock waves to the floor. People gasp and cover their heads, but nothing else happens. After the attack, Loom gathers everyone in the lounge and holds a big celebration for the soldiers. There's feasting and drinking and songs of valor, and as the party goes on long into the night, some drift away in pairs, or more. Mars and Rex keep the dancing going. Even Nemi seems to relax, especially with the other cadets when the other cadets invite her to drink with them. Cal and Tammy sit together and talk all night, giggling about something and going quiet when anyone comes near. That was boring. Let's redo that. Get rid of this. And now let's rush to the front lines instead. You muster with the rest of the defense forces at the gates. Rhett and Loom are arguing about what tactics to employ. Loom keeps trying to rally the soldiers with a heartening speech about giving it everything they've got. All the drones, all the explosives, and Rhett keeps cutting in. We don't need to take any more risks, Rhett insists. It's a smaller attack and we have more than enough plas rifles and turrets. We should save our other resources for when we do need them. Why do things halfway? Loom exclaims. We need to get in there and kick their asses back to the goo they came from. We need to show people that we have everything under control. For morale. Red tries one more time to wrest control of the forces back from Loom, but Loom cuts him off. Fire the explosive rounds, he orders. Arm the charges. Shells scream through the permanent night, followed by explosions you feel vibrate up through your boots. The Helios are unfazed, but you and the other strata guards exchange nervous looks. You hear yelling, then another boom as the secondary explosives detonates. The baying of bloodthirsty animals reaches your ears. Then, Loom holds his finger to his ear speak. Great work! Just the stragglers incoming! Open the gates! To battle! Apparently this one's easy. 58. What was that? Okay, that one's better. Because it's a flush. And this one is 1. Oh, and we won! You face off against a lesser Xeno, some kind of finned semi-aquatic thing already half dead and limping doggedly through the gates. It's almost comical how easy it is to stun and kill it. By the time you're done, the other soldiers have dispatched the rest of the creatures. Smoke drifts in from the battlefield from the explosions, an acrid scent of triumph. After the attack, Loom gathers everyone in the lounge and holds a celebration. And then we read all of that already. We did not make much progress at all with anything at age 15. Start age 16 now. Let's do robotics. Gold Explore events. Okay. Incoming ad break on Twitch in 1 minute. I need engineering 50 or greater for robotics. I mean, I could try. You're heading back to your quarters at the end of the day, and as you pass by the med bay, you hear shouts and scrambling from within. Several surveyors have come back with serious wounds, not the usual broken limbs and sunstroke. One of them is holding a towel to her own leg, staunching blood flow from a mass of animal bites. Another looks nearly blinded from acid. It looks like chaos in there. Watch unobtrusively. Yuck, that was terrible. Dr. Instance fixed them up, but there was a lot of blood. It really seems like she could use an assistant nurse. It's hard to look away while Instance is operating. You learn a thing or two about human anatomy, but lose your appetite for dinner in the process. Guess we're pushing through. The suns rise again after glow, heralding a new year. It's your 16th birthday. You wake in your new quarters, blinking into the watery sunlight. Dust motes float through the air, and you take a moment to enjoy the perfection of your bed while you listen to the sounds of the colony waking up outside. So much has happened in 1 year. Just a few short months ago, you thought your life was over. Now it's better than ever. There's plenty of food, and the colony is safe. You even have your own bedroom. You're considering snoozing until your parents wake up when your reverie is interrupted by someone sitting on your balcony. It's this! But I thought we were high with tangent. Damn. You're finally awake, Dis said, slipping off your railing. I thought you were going to sleep away your whole birthday. Happy birthday, by the way. You watch the sunrise in companionable silence. You look down from the balcony and see Tammy and Cal walking hand in hand across the colony square. When they get to the lounge, they embrace. Wait, are they kissing? No way! Well, it was only a matter of time, honestly. Your parents wake up shortly after that, and you order up your traditional birthday breakfast feast. Your dad gives you a big, squeezy hug and tells you he's proud of you. That was uneventful. I need more medicinal roots. I think I'm gonna go outside. Oh, it's a crystal cluster. So I have to be a hunter in order to get the next pet. Yeah, I cheated. Survey the ridge. Survey. The only way to the resting ridges is by glider. Part vehicle, part kite, and all adrenaline. You land on the rocky, broken up spine of the nearest ridge and nearly fall over when you look down at the plummeting slope into the basin below. You are a long way up. Dis and Utopia glide in beside you. Whoa! Utopia exclaims. You handled that glider like a champ, Dis. You too, Goops. She peers down over the slope of the ridge. A lot more exciting than the swamps, right? I want you two to stick together out here. It's dangerous in those ancient convergent domain ruins. Convergent domains? Ruins? You look around. The landscape is like nothing you've ever seen before. Dry, cracked soil gives way to steep cliffs, and what little vegetation here is brittle and sharp. You can feel a dry air wick away the moisture on your lips. Wait, what the heck is that? Strange device. Cute little nose dorn on your cute little face. Utopia narrows her eyes at you and just stares you down. Then she breaks into a grin. I don't know what you're playing at, Goobs. She puts extra emphasis on her accent. But you ain't getting any special treatment from yours truly just for buttering me up. You'll have to pull your weight just like the rest of the surveyors here. Now go on, kid. Try not to fall off of the cliff. Okay. This is gonna be tough. Oh, over here? No. 5. 4. Oh, that one doesn't even matter. Yeah, I'm giving up. Mysterious Stranger Part 2. Radiation warning. Take a sample of the radioactive plant. Oh, it's 8. Let's push through. An hour later, you realize your mistake as the radiation illness sets in. Yuck. You'll be sick for days after this, and you will need radiation treatment when you return. Oh, whoops. Damn. I have nothing for her. Just gonna go hang out with the animals in the park. Some Vertumnan bugs have moved into the garden. They're attracted to the smell of human sweat, apparently. People were worried at first, thinking they were dangerous, but it turns out they don't bite. They just scrape off a layer of dead skin. Now people are just vaguely grossed out, which is a lot better. Sometimes you see Mars out here reading a holo magazine and letting the bugs crawl all over her feet. She says it's like a spa treatment. I will... Did I study engineering? Or biology? 44. I'll try life sciences. Professor Hal looks almost apologetic. It's important to check on how you're all doing with the material, he explains. So, we're having a pop quiz on what we've been covering this month. Earth's ecosystem and the climate crash of the late 21st century. This should be easy so long as you've been paying attention. You and the other students exchange looks of horror. A pop quiz? Two people look unfazed. Tang and Cal. Both are sitting near enough that you could probably ask them for help before the quiz begins. Ooh. Asks Tang for help. Tang rolls her eyes, but obligingly rattles off a few facts about the late 21st century while the other students prepare for the quiz. You're not sure if it'll help, but maybe something will stick. Okay, we'll take the test now. +1 to mental blue cards. 5 kudos if total equals goal. Or 2. How about 3? Got 37 left. Guess we're pushing through. +20 stress, -2 kudos, +2 biology. You did well. You just tried to imagine the most destructive things humankind could do to the planet, and that was usually the answer, no matter how far-fetched. Deserts growing, terrible storms, sea level rising, species becoming extinct. Whoa, scary. Cal and Tang look happy with their scores too. As you file out of the class, you catch up with Tang and share your thoughts about what you've been learning in class. Earth humans had space travel, gene tech. Shouldn't they have been able to fix the planet? Isn't science the solution to everything? Tang scoffs. Not even science can help people who don't believe in it, she says. Even if the solution is obvious to anyone with half a brain, if the people in charge don't do what needs to be done, what's the point? She stomps away, clearly frustrated by the subject. You're woken by the buzzing of your holopalm. It's a colony-wide alert. You rub your eyes and ponder the thickness of the air seeping into your bedroom through the open veranda door. It's an ominous but beautiful sight. The seasonal pale pink haze has turned a deep fuchsia, with scintillating silver sparkles floating through it. The shimmer. Thankfully, you've all been inoculated against the shimmer because this looks like a bad year for the airborne spores. To be safe, you stay inside and seal your door and windows tightly. You spend the time playing holo games with your dad. After a couple days, the pollen fog passes without incident. Damn, I'm gonna need a break soon. Like right now soon. You spent some time with Squiddly Peterson. Apparently, humans didn't really domesticate dogs. Wolves just started hanging around humans, knowing that they got given leftover food when they cooperated. That's kind of what you hope will happen with the Vriki. Sometimes, when you're playing with Squiddly Peterson, it acts just like the dogs in the holovids. Get rid of stress cry. How's biology looking? Okay, I just need 3 more. You're headed off on lunch break when you see Mars and Tang sitting together in the engineering break room. Tang is eating a sandwich while also scrolling her holopalm with it, and Mars is half collapsed on the table, barely holding her head up on her hand as she pouts at Tang. Come on, she whines. You said we were gonna hang out after lunch. Aren't you done eating yet? Tang takes a slow, deliberate bite of her sandwich and chews while making eye contact with Mars. It goes from funny to awkward to hilarious as Mars's face falls and she puts her head on the table and groans. Proper mastication is important for digestive health, Tang answers primly, a smile curling at the corner of her mouth. You can masticate in private, Mars mutters. What are you reading, and how is it more important than me, your best and only friend on the planet? Just something for work, Tang answers. It's really interesting. I didn't know Dr. Instance was so well published, even though she was only 25 when the Strata left Earth. She was practically a prodigy, like me. She looks at her holoscreen again. It's absolutely fascinating. We're so lucky to have such an accomplished researcher here on Vitumna. But the exam got me like, sorry, future kiddo, we in the 21st century are still... it sucks. I like the commentary, though. Read over Tang's shoulder. You take a seat at the table and sneak a look at Tang's screen. You catch a few words. Recombinism, tissue tropism, RNA, protein sheaths, intrinsic immunity, maybe something to do with viruses? From the pictures, possibly also fungi? Without further examination, it's hard to tell. Tang notices you looking and shuts off her holopalm, shooting you a cool look. Wait, I want to learn about mycophages. Tang looks startled, but pleased. She turns her holopalm back on and tilts it so you can read along. It's dense, but interesting. And definitely about viruses that affect fungi. I didn't know you were interested in Instance's older work as well, Goops, Tang says. Perhaps we could work together to parse the next section. It's particularly challenging. OMG, nerds! Mars laughs. Look at you two eggheads. Better you than me. Tang grazes you with a small, thankful smile. You've been eating for like half an hour, Tang. Come on, Mars says, pulling her hands down her face. Please, can we go do something fun before some rampaging Xeno eats us? We're both too pretty to die of boredom. Tang smiles. You think I'm pretty, Mars? She asks, seemingly genuinely curious. Mars sets her hand on top of Tang's. The prettiest, she swears, her other hand over her heart. Even prettier than me. Well, I mean, I win in the looks department, but I think smart women get, like, extra points. Tang says, putting her hand on top of Mars's hand and leaning in to fix Mars with an unusually flirtatious expression. Yes, do tell me all about my great beauty, she deadpans. It's all I live for. Mars laughs and tosses her hair over her shoulder, and you tune them out in favor of eating your lunch before you're expected back in engineering. Oh! I didn't expect that. Let's get... Oh. For a second I thought it would get rid of it. 9-8. 8-9. Oh, goal! +4 biology, +1 reasoning, +15 stress. That's exactly what I wanted! I still need 40 reasoning, though. Apply to assist the doctor. A surveyor team runs into you on their way to medbay, carrying one of their own on a stretcher. He's bleeding badly from a wound in his neck and crying for help. Help in medbay. You drop what you're doing and hold pressure to the wound until the team can load him into the medbed. He groans as the restoration technology knits his blood vessels together like magic. You wash your bloody hands and accept thanks from his team. Good work in there, Goobs, Chief Engineer Instant says. You know, with how the colony's grown, I could use an assistant nurse here. Someone I can trust to take care of things while I'm working in the lab. Come back next month and give me a hand if you're interested. Okay, nursing assistant. What does that do for me? +3 biology, +3 empathy, +1 friendship with tangent. Sure. You report for your first shift as this Dr. Instance's nursing assistant. Instance was never supposed to be the literal doctor for everyone in the colony. All of the colony's medical needs were supposed to be covered by the medbeds, and then eventually with trained medical professionals from your generation. With the growing number of wounded and sick, it's pulling Instance's attention away from her actual work in the lab, hence why she needs the help. I'm not a doctor. I'm a doctor, not a physician. Instance grumbles as she swipes through her hollow palm to give you access to the medbay systems. I can study the local xenofauna so it stops killing us, or I can treat burns and upset tummies. I can't do both. There, she says as the haptics in your hollow palm pulse. You should have access. Now, don't bother me for anything less than a cranial bleed. It's a medbed, not a jar of leeches. Just follow the instructions and push the right buttons. You need something? Ask Congruence. Congruence beams at you from her hollow monitor. Can you handle that? I can handle anything. That's the spirit, Congruence chirps. It's you and me, Goobs. High five. You gently bond Congruence's panel with your open palm and she laughs. There are no patients today, so you're going to brush up on your first aid training. Every colonist gets first aid training starting in their early teens. Lungs gotta breathe, heart's gotta beat, blood should stay inside the body. Check. You run through quiz scenarios with Congruence for a whole week. CPR, elevate and put pressure on wounds, wrap broken bones, flush eyes with water, leave foreign objects in, and be real careful with neck injuries. Fun fact, Congruence informs you, in the field, your hollow palm can discharge its batteries all at once as a makeshift defibrillator. First aid is important, but the goal is just to get the person stable long enough to bring them here to a med bed. That's where you and Dr. Instance will take over. You'll be fine. It might only be a matter of life or death. No biggie. Whee! 6, 5, 4. There. +5 biology, +3 empathy, +15 kudos, +15 stress, +1 friendship with tangent. Oh, I gotta drink some water. It's Vertumnalia. Everyone's in high spirits as you decorate the colony square. The great tables are piled high with food, groaning under the weight of heaps of roasted and steamed vegetables, barbecued meat, stews, carafes of mulled cider, and cakes dripping with frosting and sugar bug syrup. You gather in the colony square for the usual speeches. Loom takes the stage to fanfare and applause. Hello, people of Vertumnalia. Hello, people of Vertumna, he exclaims over the din. Happy Vertumnalia! He takes a big theatrical breath. Do you smell that? That's the smell of victory. We humans have secured our hold on this planet, and now it's time to celebrate. Loom gestures to the sagging feast tables. Eat, drink, and be merry. The crowd cheers again. After the council members each give their annual reports, everyone starts clearing the square to set up the Vertumnalia games. You feel the pulse of a new hollow message in your palm and open it up to read. Happy Vertumnalia, there's a present for you on the table. XOXO, your secret admirer. You rush over to the feast table and spot a rat's present in among the roasted vegetables. Wow, you have a secret admirer? You unwrap your present. It's a data band. You snap it on your wrist and boot it up on your hollow palm. Is this? It might be him. You snap it on your wrist and boot it up on your hollow palm. It's full of all your favorite songs, videos, shows, and games. A collection curated by someone who must really know you. 56, 59. Huh. We still have 3 people we haven't met. Secret admirer. Now you always have your media with you, even if the net goes down, including all your favorite episodes of the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon. Nice! You search the hollow palm for any hint as to who could have made it, but you can't find anything. You'll have to ask around. But later, the games are about to begin. Let's do trivia. We're not going to have any pop culture questions this year, right? Tangent sulks. I wonder how many arcs are left? So, let's see. How old are we? Age 16. So we have, I think, 3 more years in the game, and then it ends. We're not going to have any pop culture questions this year, right? Tangent sulks, her voice dripping with disdain. I just don't see the point. Why aren't we celebrating real intelligence? Luckily, Nomi doesn't overhear this. Or if they do, they don't care. They're just happy to be there. Makes sense? Just 1 more year than 18, which really rounds it out. Trivia time! Rip me. Man, why is it all yellow? Three, 3, 5, 5. That one's better. I'm not gonna win this year. Damn. Give up. If Tangent were about 40% more aggressive, the end of the trivia match would have ended in a brawl. Nomi sweeps the pop culture categories, and a surprising number of engineering ones too, thanks to their interest in robotics. Tangent comes in second, only having biological science in her wheelhouse. You come in third, which is a nice way of saying you came in last. After the festivities, everyone descends on the feast. You heap your plate with more food than you could eat in 3 sittings. When all the food is gone and the sunset has broken the heat of day, people break out their instruments. Everyone dances well into the night. Oh! Oh, okay. This is figuring out who the admirer is. Okay. Let's do... Tammy's with Cal. But everyone can be Polly. I think I'll do Tangent this time. Though, this is the one who did it last year. It felt so out of character. Tangent is hard at work in the lab, entering calculations into her holopalm and frowning over a set of samples. She barely notices you enter. "Hello, Goobs," she says distractedly before going back to her work. "Someone gave you a data band. It might have been Tangent." "Are you my secret admirer?" Oh! Oh, okay, so if you get to this point, then it can basically be anyone? Last time it was, I chose this, so it was this. So this time I chose Tangent, so it is Tangent. Tangent continues to scrutinize her work, though the tips of her ears go pink. "What? No, of course not," she says. "I would never. The whole idea of... I'm simply too busy to... It's okay, I won't tell." "I'll never tell." Tang nods, finally meeting your eye. "Good," she says. "I don't want to make a big deal about it." Go in for a smooch? Damn. Okay, let's try that again. I fucked up. Let the moment pass. Tangent seems relieved you're willing to let the matter drop and quickly goes back to her work. Okay, it's Tangent. And now friendship is at 63 out of 100. Last time we maxed out with this. Can it only be one person? Because that would suck. My character is polyamorous. Okay. Might buy something. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. You've heard through the colony rumor mill that the secret Fun Times Club, a club Mars started when you were kids aboard the Stratospheric, has been operating this whole time. When you ask Mars about it, she graciously allows you to sit in on the next meeting. The mood, as Mars calls the meeting to order, is somber. "Anemone won't be joining us today," she announces. Or, probably ever again. She told me she's too busy with training and stuff, and she didn't want to do any more sneaking around. She sniffs dismissively. "It's okay. She was kind of a square anyway, but we need someone to replace her." "Some of the Helio kids are pretty cool," she says. "They like clubs and stuff, right? We should talk to them and see if they want to join the SFC. Mars stops and holds up her finger. "Oh, and it's just SFC now. The Secret Fun Times Club was okay when we were little, but we're practically adults now." "What about the new governor, Loom?" Tang asks. "I know he's technically an adult, but he's fairly young. It would be beneficial to have someone with some actual clout on our side. Needs more hearts. Would be good if it'd be possible to max out more for platonic relationships as well." Yeah, it's possible. I think you can get 100 with everyone. Including the new people. Like, I'm already at 8 with Nomi. And I just hugged Rex once, and it's at 2. I got pretty high with Tangent last time. And Tammy is at 44. "What about the new governor, Loom?" Tang asks. "I know he's technically an adult." "I know he's technically an adult, but he's fairly young. It would be beneficial to have someone with some actual clout on our side." Seems like one needs to be very strategic with that. Oh, you can just ignore the romantic stuff. Well, though, I think it would be very difficult to try and get everyone's friendship up, but I think, you know, maybe just giving them presents would work out. I just keep not doing that. Mars gives Tang a withering look. "We already have someone important in the club, Tang, but thank you for your contribution." She crosses her arms and thanks. "I mean, Loom's alright. Kind of dumb, but like, you don't have to be smart to be hot, you know? I can't believe Yudokot just..." Let him be in charge? I've listened in on some of his council meetings, and they are total chaos. It's like he has no idea what he's doing. That's kind of mean, Mars, Tammy says. I'm sure he's just trying his best. We should invite him over for snacks and tea and see if he needs help learning how to fit in. And, shouldn't we be trying to have fun, not getting involved in politics? On that note, who do you approach to join the club? Oh, it has to be 10 or greater with Nomi Nomi. What's our friendship at with her? I mean, with them? I just misgendered Nomi Nomi. I'm sorry, Nomi. Okay, let's reload. We'll start a secret admirer. And give them a present. Oh, and today's Nomi's birthday. You find Nomi Nomi in the lounge, flanked by 2 holo screens and doodling in a sketchbook with real paper. One holo screen is playing an animated kids show, while the other is a wall of text that looks like it might be a translation guide of some kind. Nomi's attention moves between the 3 easily. When they see you, they jump and quickly close their holo screens, sitting up straight and clutching their sketchbooks to their chests. Oh, hi, Goobs! They giggle, rubbing the back of their head charmingly. How you doing? It's okay. You can watch cartoons here. Is that in a different language? Well, yeah, Nomi says, wrinkling their nose. It's better in the original language, but the subtitles don't tell the whole story either. Nomi sets their sketchbook aside and looks around conspiratorially. I thought you were gonna bust me for jailbreaking my holopad, they say. All the Halo kids have restrictions on what we can watch and for how long, but you guys have so many more cartoons than we had. Nomi throws their arms in the air, like the first season of Turbo Girl, Hyperjet Transform. What? I love Turbo Girl, Hyperjet Transform. What? Nomi cries, slapping their hands to their cheeks. Really? It's the best cartoon ever made. What else has schoolgirls who look like aircraft from the waist down, battling evil aliens while dealing with the stresses of high school life? You have to agree. You were pretty fond of the arc in the 3rd season where Kamiya and Otoko... Otoko, that's cool, disagreed about whether Haruka could truly be considered a hyperjet if she was part helicopter. Wow, the themes of the show. Are you really your race if you're half your race? The Heliomedia archive only has season 2 through 9 and only 3 of the OVAs, Nomi says, puffing their cheeks out. I can't believe in the 4th OVA, Flight Captain Yumiko gets captured by the aliens and brainwashes to thinking she's been an alien sleeper agent the whole time. Is that what you're drawing? Goops! Nomi exclaims, snatching their sketchbook up again. Don't peek! Nomi laughs and flips over their sketchbook, showing off some of the drawings. I was drawing some fan art for the show, they say. Well, it's kind of fan art. Okay, it's really more like if I was a character in Hypergirl Turbojet Transform, what kind of aircraft would you be? Nomi blinks at you, clearly stunned by your interest. Well, okay, kind of, you see, all the cool aircraft are already taken, and it's rude to be a double. They press the tips of their index fingers together and look thoughtful. Sometimes I draw my character, as something weird, like a hot air balloon, but then I think, it would be cool if I was the only regular human in the Turbo Girl Hyperjets. Okay, what was that? Where are we at now? 12! Now it's safe. We can invite Nomi Nomi to the Secret Fun Times Club. A club? Nomi asks when you bring it up. Well, maybe. I am looking for more people to play Laser Fable with me. It's no fun with just me and Rex. Yeah, Nomi's pretty cute. I love that they draw fan art for anime. And they seem ADHD too. Shall AO3 shall live through them? Absolutely. I bet Nomi Nomi is single-handedly holding it up. They brighten. Hey, wait, can Rex join? Because Rex is my best friend, and anywhere I go, he comes too. It's been that way forever, ever since we were kids, and there's no way I'm letting him feel left out. Looks like you got another 2. Awesome! 2 for 1. Yeah, let's just push through. +8 organizing, +2 persuasion, +9 kudos, +10 stress, +1 friendship with marzipan. What I actually meant to do was visit the supply depot. Huh. Well, that's pretty good. Wait, I can buy multiple cakes? Okay, I think that's enough cakes. I'm just gonna buy everything. Besides the fodder for Nor. When are they gonna open up hunting? Here, have cake. Tang takes the cake and immediately sets it down on a side counter, far away from any specimens. What are you doing bringing food into a clean room? She chastises you. I don't really like desserts, but thank you, I suppose. I will find something to do with this. Something to do with it. I don't know what to do. I really want the rest of the animals. Oh, let me pick that up. Let me go foraging again. Oh, before that, let me give Rex a hug. Hi, gotta call it a day for me. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning into the stream. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. It'll be Sunday, so it's Pikmin 4. Bye-bye. What did I say? Foraging. Because I can get a bunch of collectibles. You stumble upon another Squeeger Hive Queen and her multitude of wriggling, oozing children. Get some of that sap. Damn. Cards to write become wild. No, 2, 4, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. Give up. Oh, it's Utopia over there. Identify the mushrooms. A simple biology challenge. Oh, okay. 9, 5, 4, 3, 5, 6, 9. About 4 here. Much better. Three. Nope. And we won! Woo! Still have a baby one. You're able to determine that these mushrooms are edible. You fill your basket with big chunks of tasty fungus. Utopia's pleased with your haul. Great work. Darn, too tired. You spend some time with Squiddly Peterson. They're so affectionate. Their favorite place to sit is under your shirt, their velvety fur tickling your belly as they make a contented little purring noise. Okay, let's go foraging again before glow. I always pass it once. Go give Rex a hug. Friendship with marzipan. It's not very high. So I'll give Tammy a flower. Nah, I'll give it to marzipan. $28 now. Here, have cake. Let's go foraging. Ooh. The paths are narrow and in constant need of repair. There's a team working here, trying to repair where one of the jelly arches has collapsed and covered the path in 30 centimeters of sticky goop. Utopia waves you over. Hey Goose, can you give us a hand? We can't get vehicles through here until this is cleared, and it's going to take all day. You might have a better plan. Using biology. Fuck. These cards suck. Plus 20 stress. Oh yeah, you've seen a stuffed desiccant in low humidity like in dust. You throw powdered desiccant over it and let physics do its work. It's easier to plow through a bunch of plumped up granules of desiccant gel than it is to shovel all the slimy muck. You save a few hours. I'll fight it. For no good reason. $38 left. Give up. I'm just trying to get collectibles. Another Ricky? Let's sing to it. For... Wait, what was that? That one's unchangeable. I got 33 left. Tense stress. Let's leave the Reiki. One of these things again. Notice location to move on. You've been saved a few times from certain doom, or at least discomfort, and it can't have been oats. Call out to Symbiosis. You raise your voice and call him by name. The man, Symbiosis, you know him from your dreams of a past life. After a few seconds, Sim appears with a suspicious look on his face. How do you know my name? I learned it in a dream. Sim nods like this makes sense to him. He jumps up onto a large rock and crouches, eyeing you thoughtfully. Let's make a deal, he says. He speaks with an odd inflection, putting the wrong stress on things, but the words themselves come easily enough to him. I'm not supposed to talk to you, he says. It's against the rules, but since you've caught me, I can grant you one wish. He smiles mischievously. Is this a joke? I wish to know more about you. Gives you a sly look. In time, goops, I hope. He pauses and his eyes unfocused for a moment. He stares straight ahead, unblinking. Then he slowly stretches like a cat and stands up. Well, this has been fun, but I'm afraid duty calls. He doffs an invisible hat towards you. I'm looking forward to the story of how you came to know my name. He jumps behind the rock and disappears. Literally, he disappeared. You search all around and can find no trace of where he might have gone or how. You're struck with a sudden sense of remembering so strong that you have to stop and hold your head. Meeting Sim again? It's just like it was before. Ominous. +2 perception, +2 biology. Oh, it's Tang. You spot Tang sitting on a large boulder outside the lab. She's eating a pressed soy bar ration with determination, alternating bites with huge gulps of water to wash it down as quickly as possible. What are you doing out here? She stops her grim work long enough to acknowledge your question. I hit the limit of the number of consecutive hours to allow me to work in the lab, she says. So I'm taking a break, she says, making mocking air quotes around the sentence. How dare they? That's what I said, Tang replies. They just think they can boss me around because I'm younger. She scoffs. I'm smarter than any two of them combined. Ugh, Tang groans and rubs her bloodshot eyes. I just want to work, you know? It's so frustrating to be deep in the zone and feeling like I'm just on the precipice of a discovery, and then someone tells me that apparently my genius is taking too long. I want them to treat me like I belong there, the way Dr. Instance does, Tang mutters. She actually respects me. They're just jealous that she likes me more. Tang slides off the boulder and you see the color bleed from her face as she stumbles into you, nearly crumpling to the ground. Oh, she grits out, leaning over while the dizziness passes. I thought the nutritional uptake of that bar would be quicker than a real meal, especially after taking into account the time required to walk to the cafeteria. She trails off, realizing she's clutching your jacket and pushes you away. My apologies, she says, brushing herself off. I am, regrettably, it seems, only human. Tang scrubs her hands over her face. Sometimes it feels like I'm a prisoner in my own body. Like I can feel myself trapped in it. This stinking, sweating bag of meat and bad impulses. Stuck with the burden of keeping it alive every day for the rest of my life. And her voice breaks. I don't think I chose the crying last time. Tang scowls and wipes her eyes angrily. Reflexive lacrimation is an evolutionary response to emotional and physical stress, she snaps. In other words, no, I'm not crying. It's just this resentment for my physical form. It reminds me of when I was little, and Instance used the gene tech to give me this body. The right body. Only this body's wrong too, she adds quietly. It's right in a lot of ways, but it's still imperfect. It's still human. If I were an AI, everything would be more simple. I could just do my work. I could just do what I'm good at. No messy biological functions, no emotions, just clear and beautiful purpose. I hate this, Tang sniffles. I hate feeling this way. I think you're beautiful the way you are. And she hated that. I think I chose that before. Retracing my footsteps. I'm always here to listen, Tang. Hanjin manages a watery smile as she wipes her eyes. Thanks, she says. I apologize for being all wet on you. It won't happen again. She wipes her eyes and straightens her jacket, then takes a deep breath and holds it for 10 seconds. Her eyes close by the time she opens them up again. She looks ready to go back to work as if nothing has happened. You admire Tanjin's determination, but sometimes you think it might come at a price. Time to talk to Mom? Your mom and dad are taking a midday break in the shade of a trellis and wave you over as you approach. Goobs! Goobs, come here! Your dad says, pulling up a crate with his foot and patting the top invitingly. Come spend some time with your old mom and pop. How's your day been? Extra solarly spectacular. Our fearless explorer, your mom drawls, taking a swig from her canteen. She wipes her mouth with the back of her hand and passes the canteen back to your dad. Made friends with any alien life forms yet? Your face goes on a journey. Friends with any... what? Do they know about Sim? How could they? Your parents chuckle at your expression. Well, Goobs, your dad says. You know, like the little hop eyes that sneak in, or blip bug. Oh, those kind of aliens. You thought for sure they were talking about Sim, but hey, while they're asking... Nope, just boring old humans. One alien named Sim. You tell them you've met an alien, a smart one with 2 legs and 2 arms and a humanish face. You've had conversations with him. He likes humans. Your parents exchange a dubious look. We've already checked, kiddo, your dad says. There's no alien civilization of Vertumna. None still alive, anyway. Don't you think they would have contacted us if there was? Your mom snorts. Maybe they're scared of us. She pats your leg patronizingly. This is like the dream thing, right? You dreamed you met an alien like you used to when you were younger. I know you've always had trouble telling your imagination from reality, but don't you think you're getting too old for these stories? Jeez, just kidding. Your mom and dad laugh. Good one, Goobs, your dad chuckles. You really had us going. It is too bad that their ableism is still so strong in the future. Hey, Dis. You and Dis are sitting on the tailgate of one of the expedition's vehicles, shelling bobber seeds with your teeth and spitting the hard bits on the ground. Now and then, one of you points out something funny a passing surveyor does, or spots something under the mush trees. This is the easiest way to talk to Dis, by not talking at all. Dis has always been like this. Being isolated from the other kids has made him thoughtful. Out of everyone, you think Dis might understand about Sim, and be able to keep a secret. Do you tell him? I trust him. You tell Dis that you saw something interesting when you were out on expedition. Dis perks up immediately, turning to look at you. Yeah? He asks. What? I met an alien, Dis. His jaw drops, and his face goes an interesting color. You're worried for a moment that he's going to be upset with you for teasing him, but... No way, Dis hisses, leaning in. But I met an alien too, Goobs. What was yours like? Tall, dark, and handsome. Dis' color deepens. He looks at a loss for words, opening and closing his mouth a few times. Wait, he stammers. Do you mean Sim? You nod, and Dis suddenly becomes extremely interested in the hem of his sweater. Sim is more pretty than handsome, I think, he mumbles. He made me swear I wouldn't tell anyone else, Dis says earnestly. It's a weird expression on him. He said if other humans find out about the gardeners, we'd all be in a lot of danger. So we can talk about Sim, but we have to keep it a secret. So the Western Ridge ruins. Yeah, I'm sure the gardeners are related to those ruins somehow. He shakes his head. I asked him if the gardeners built what used to be there. He said the ruins built the gardeners. He was speaking in riddles. Why hide him? This looks at you like you've grown a second head. I don't know about you, he mutters, but I'm done with people making fun of me for knowing the truth. He shakes his head and looks out into the forest. I want to protect Sim, he says quietly. He's one of the only people who's ever tried to know the real me, you know? It's different for you. People like you, Goobs. He rubs his cheek. Sim is my everything. If he needs me to keep him secret, I will. Okay, this will be our secret. Dis nods, looking serious. Good, she says simply, then repeats it. Good. You go back to shelling bobber seeds in silence, watching the colony go about its business. Oh, I have to chill out. 1+ friendship with Tammy and Rex. Okay. Your parents must be some of the busiest adults in the colony. You hardly ever see them unless you visit them in geoponics. Often in the lounge, you watch Tammy cuddled up with her dad watching a holovid together, and Cal chatting with his mother or one of her partners, and Mars showing off her 2 dads. Makes you feel a little lonely. Nah, these cars are good. And it's glow. Okay. Who dies next? I don't even remember. Two more people haven't met. I guess I can do like tutoring or something. Study engineering or assistant medbay. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get engineering up to 50. Biologist assistant medbay. Hank flags you down in the hallway. Oh, Goops, do you have a moment? You go out on expeditions sometimes, right? She asks. At least far more than I do, or would ever wish to. So would you mind doing me a favor? Of course! It's a small thing, really, and I'm to understand it's not terribly dangerous either. Hank replies. I simply need you to bring me some hawkeye eggs the next time you come across a nest out there. I would ask this, but, well, she makes an evocative, dismissive gesture. I'll keep an eye out for them. That's all I ask, Tang replies primly. They're quite common if the reports from the foragers are to be believed. They tell me that they commonly find nests in the Valley of Vertigo. It's positively lousy with them. Oh. This. You're lying in bed staring at the wormhole through your window when you hear a deep thump resonate through the ground. Then a second one, quieter. The woven roof of your room quivers, unleashing a season's worth of fine glowing dust to sift through the air. Through your open window, you hear voices sounding the alarm. The annual offensive is here, and leading the charge are two massive faceless. Join the fray. You grab a plas rifle and report to the front, where a line of soldiers has taken up arms and is waiting for orders. The colony prepares to defend itself against the two building-scale faceless, as well as a teeming swarm of smaller Xenos that seethe towards you. Hold steady! Orders Security Chief Reft. Keep the line! No! Governor Loom yells, running from the front gates to the front of the defensive line. He elbows Red out of the way and waves his arms wildly. Bring them closer! Draw them in! Red stops himself from shoving Loom back, but just barely, you can tell. Are you serious? He retorts. We can't let them any further into the colony. We're going to fight them on our territory, Loom cries, raising his plas rifle over his head with one hand. We have the walls! Let's use them! We'll let them come inside and pick them off one by one. We can't pick off a faceless, Rhett sputters from the sidelines. Loom smiles maniacally. You can see the gleam of his teeth from here. I have a plan, he roars. Just follow my lead. And with that, he turns and begins to run towards the approaching animals, roaring taunts and firing wildly into the fray to draw them close. At a gloss, Rhett motions you all to fall back and let the animals approach. The area just inside the gates becomes a swirling melee of smaller Xenos and plas rifle fire, the two faceless lumbering slowly behind. Try to stay out of the way. And 7, 6, 6, 6, 7, 6 were. Four, 5, or 5, 4. Whoops. $27. 6, 5, 6, 3, 3. First I'll try this. Five, 6, 7. Okay, well that didn't make any sort of difference. Okay, now I'll continue. Push through, 50 stress. Plus 20 stress, plus 2 kudos, plus 4 perception. You're not exactly a professional soldier, but you manage to hold your own against the Xenos. Even though you still scream and retreat when something gets too close, you don't injure any humans with your plas rifle, at least. Out of the artillery smoke wafting over the battlefield, Loom comes running. Here they come! Here they come! He shouts joyfully and plows through the gates with the two faceless galloping behind him. It's without a doubt idiotic and horrendously dangerous. You can't help it. You hit record on your hollow palm and film the ensuing chaos. You catch a glimpse of Chief Rhett putting his hand over his face and sighing. A squad of Helio soldiers takes up the charge and helps shepherd the faceless into the open area in the middle of the colony. You have horrible flashback to the first time you saw a faceless inside these walls. From the looks on the faces of the other Stratus, you're not the only one. Then you're all thrown to the ground by a tremendous explosion. Fire engulfs the center square, roasting the two faceless in an inferno that blasts the sweat from your pores. Rocks and chunks of dirt patter all around you, with an occasional thunk of burning mushwood. Those soldiers nearest the blaze all recoil in surprise. Clearly, no one but Loom knew that the square had been rigged with explosives. You don't think anyone was caught in the blast, but it was close. Loom stands before the blaze, laughing and firing at the two tortured faceless as they roast to death. You raise your hollow palm to capture the image, his silhouette dark against the column of flame and smoke. It was ridiculously dangerous and stupid, but it does look pretty cool in your recorded footage. People filter out of their hiding places, shielding their faces from the heat coming off the bonfire in the middle of the square. On the horizon, the first watery rays of quiet sunrise are struggling to make a dent in the hot orange glare. The colony's fire suppression system is turned on the square, revealing the charred corpses of the two faceless. Utopia walks by with a reclamation team hauling an industrial plas cutter on a hover lift. Did he use the mining explosives? Utopia says in awe. Mighty bold of him. Those things will blow a hole in a mountain. Or a creature, I suppose. She sighs. Wish he could have saved him from mining. That must have been the last of him. We sure can make more. Then she and her crew are out of earshot as they pick their way down the blast crater to carve up the faceless for recycling. Fortunately, the colony was well defended. You and the other colonists have been fortifying the defenses, putting security above all else. Tonight's defense was still a resounding, if messy, success. But if Utopia's right, you don't have any more of those explosives now. You can't just nanoprint unstable molecules like that. What are you gonna do during the next attack? New perk. Collectibles respawn faster and more slots are filled. Oh, new perk. Pay to remove cards in the quarters spa. Whoa! I can do what now? Oh, they've all grown up again. Over the years, a lot of people have started wearing a lot less clothing than you remember from when you were growing up on the climate-controlled stratospheric. Definitely a lot less than the holovids you brought from Earth. Rex, though. Rex has really acclimated to Vertumna's hot, sultry weather. Ah, woo! Rex throws his head back and laughs so loud it echoes to the courtyard. Ah, woo! He yells. He howls. Ah, woo! You both giggled and lock eyes for a few seconds that feel like literal months. Eventually, Rex fixes you with a fangy smile and scratches the back of his head. It does nice things to his whole chest, shoulder, bicep situation. So you like what you see, huh? He leans in like sharing a secret. Me too, he whispers, then winks at you. Ooh! Tammy! Growing up! I don't like to think about the war, Tammy says, tucking a lock of hair behind her pointed ear. I'm not a soldier, you know, but everyone has to do what they can to pitch in, and what I can do is make sure the colony is running smoothly, so they have a colony to protect. Tangent? I have to. My character has to relax soon. Just a reminder that I don't, I don't have any follower notifications anymore, but there is a redeem in case anyone follows and wants to be and wants me to notice. I see all follows, but I figure since I find it uncomfortable to follow during streams because I don't want to be like noticed or perceived, I figure that I should make my stream more comfortable for people like me too. Anyway. Relax in the park. Your mother's white astrantia flowers are flourishing in the garden, and everywhere else too. They've really taken to something in the soil here. You even seen them outside the walls. Something must be carrying their seeds out towards the wilderness. Yeah, get rid of that one, too. It's your 17th birthday, but it's not just your birthday. Quiet is a time of new growth, a celebration of life and hope. Not for just this year, but for humanity's presence on Vertumna for years to come. You and your friends are the symbol of that hope. Quite literally, you are the future of humanity. As you're all beginning to take your places as adults in the colony, the council has decided to throw a party in your honor. The Vertumnan Youth Ball. Mars is organizing it, of course. You get an embossed invitation on real paper slipped under your door. Party, party, party all night long! You slip into some party clothes and head over to the lounge to celebrate, well, yourselves. And yourself specifically. It is your birthday after all. The lounge is all decked out. The decorations look expensive. It must have taken a lot of nanoprinter creds. Your friends are transformed too. Everyone has dressed up and looking like the young adults they're becoming. You can hardly recognize some of them. Mars catches your eye and waves, her bangles jingling joyfully. She looks like a model from her holo mags, every inch of her primped, painted, and perfumed. Gibbs! Happy birthday! I'm glad you can make it, she says over the steady thrum of the music. Drinks are over there. Make your song request to congruent and take off your shoes. You look down at your boots, then back up at Mars skeptically. She rolls her eyes and does a little bounce. Sock hop, just like Earth, duh. At the refreshment table, Cal is stuffing his face with party food, and Rex shoves 2 glasses of punch in your hands. Gotta stay hydrated, he says, pouring himself another glass. We'll be sweating it out one way or another. He winks at you. Don't let them fool you, Tangent mutters, joining you. She smears a glob of something pink and meaty looking on a cracker. It's a well-documented phenomenon that people inexperienced with imbibing alcohol will begin to act as if they're drunk, even if they're completely sober. To Rex, she adds, I mean, of course, that I am not going to suffer. I mean, of course, that I am not going to suffer any bad behavior. Rex grins as he pulls a flask out of his vest and pours a healthy addition into his glass. Who says it's gonna be an act? Let's get a little loose. Come on, it's a party. The music changes to something with a fast, pounding beat. Rex throws his head back and howls. Woo! It's time to dance! Dance! You, Rex, and Mars take to the dance floor. After a while, Nemi follows, pulling bass behind her. You all dance until it feels like your heart is going to burst. From excitement, from exertion, and from the sheer joy of throwing yourself around the room with your friends. Nomi, who's playing DJ with Congruence, spins up something a lot slower, more romantic. Grab a partner and pull them in close, they announce dreamily, or whatever distance you both feel comfortable with. Everyone giggles awkwardly and shuffles around, feeling the intangible friction of teenage politics. Who dances with whom? Who makes the first move? Look for Tangent. Tangent is already shaking her head as you approach her for a dance. Absolutely not, she says. I'm not going anywhere near that sweaty mess. Well, she didn't say she wouldn't dance. She resists you tugging her into a slow dancing position, but relaxes when she realizes you don't intend to take her away from the safety of the refreshment table. She dances with you a little mechanically, her nose turning more pink as the song goes on, and drops her arms immediately when it's done. You follow her gaze to the dance floor, where Nemi and Bass seem to have skipped dancing and gone straight to sucking face. Tang's lips curl. Ugh, thank you for not expecting me to do that. After the slow songs, Nomi spins Congruence's music library to something with a little more bounce to it. The dance floor once more floods with bodies ready to gyrate the night away, but the tunes are abruptly interrupted by Governor Loom's hairspeak hijacking the feed. He strides to the stage, flanked by Security Chief Rhett. Everyone on the dance floor whines in unison at having some buzzkill adult stop the music, but Loom just raises his hands and smiles indulgently. Look at all of you, he says, young pioneers. I look at you and I see the future, not just of this colony, but of all humanity. You catch a few people rolling their eyes. You've heard this before. Rhett here, good man, a real good man really, the best of the colony. Shared this poem from a great Earth poet, Loom continues. Now, I'm not one for poetry myself, but damn if it's not something I want to share with you kids tonight, on the eve of something really big. He clears his throat and reads from his hollow palm. We cannot tarry here. We must bear the brunt of danger. We the youthful, sinewy races. All the rest on us depend. Down the edges, through the passes, up the mountain steep. Conquering, holding, daring, venturing as we go the unknown ways. Pioneers, oh pioneers. We primeval forests felling. We the river stemming. Vexing we and piercing deep the minds within. We the surface broad surveying. We the virgin soil upheaving. Pioneers, oh pioneers. Grumble and hiss, this is bullshit. Rhett looks a little pained, but Loom continues. What do you think that poem means, kiddos? He asks. Does it mean we should sit here in our colony, politely waiting for this planet to make a space for us? He clenches his fist evocatively in the air. No! He exclaims. It means we need to get out there. We need to grab Ratumna by the balls and make it respect us. He points to you specifically. I need you, the next generation, to lead the charge. This is your planet and you're old enough now to defend it. I'm asking all eligible fighters to join squads massing at expeditions, to get out there and attack those monsters where they live. We're taking the fight to them. No more hiding behind our walls. To your left, Vase and Nemi lead the cheering that erupts. Loom and Rhett leave and the music spins back up again, but only a few die-hard partygoers still want to dance. Everyone else has broken into small groups to discuss the announcement. You are... not excited. Angry? Sure. This is bullshit, Cal exclaims, causing a few heads to turn. They're not even going to try to figure out why the animals are attacking us. They're just going to kill, kill, kill. He waves his arms over his head. Aren't we supposed to be better than that? This clearly agrees, though much more quietly. They don't even know what's out there, he mutters. They have no idea what they're up against. The party fizzles out as everyone drifts away from the lounge. You return to find your parents have stayed up to make sure you got home safe. They've never done that before. You've always been told the colony was safe. Now, you see their grim expressions, and you know that time is over. Let me get some water. Let's see, our friendship with Tangent is now a 69 over 100. Tammy! What's up? Tammy beams when she sees you like there's nothing better in the world than the sight of your face. Happy birthday, Goofs! She exclaims. She comes in for a huge hug. She smells so nice, like vanilla and flowers, and she's really good at hugs. This is for you, Tammy says. She steps back and reaches into one of the many deep pockets of her dress, producing a little paper box. I made you this, she laughs, opening it to reveal a little snack-sized cake. You take a bite. The cake is light and flavorful and drenched in sugar bug syrup. It's delicious. Thanks to the Helios' hydroponics and the help of some native flora and fauna, Tammy's cooking ability has come a long way from dressing up soy rations. Tammy watches you eat the cake with a look of delighted satisfaction. You can share it if you want, she hints, smiling sweetly. If that would make you happy. Share it with Tammy. Tammy laughs. I was just kidding. I made my own, silly Billy, she says, pulling out a second box. Let's eat them together. She's so sweet. Here, have some cake. Tangent is about to duck back into engineering when you approach. She winces and shields her eyes from the sun. She looks at you miserably, and you notice that her right eye is glowing faintly. It's my new hollow eye implant, Tank says. Its ghostly glow snaps in and out of existence as she blinks. I seem to be experiencing some unpleasant side effects from it, similar to that of an ocular migraine, Tank confesses. Instance warned me that this level of visual information can be difficult for the human brain to comprehend at first. You agree to follow her into engineering to get out of the sun. It's similar to a holopalm, she explains, still holding her forehead and squinting, but with an infinitely large screen because it projects it directly into the oculus. It used to belong to Dr. Instance, but she passed it down to me to help with my work. I'm sure you'll get used to it soon. Tang sets her jaw and nods, determined. I know I will. It's only pain. It's more than an implant, Tang continues as you follow her to the medbay labs. Hollow eyes are on the very forefront of human augmentation. They represent our next steps towards ascending as a species. She touches the red scar where her hollow palm used to be. No more clunky screens, no privacy concerns, she says quietly. Elegant integrated design. It observes the motion of my hands and uses it to generate an AR interface for my entire field of vision. It's partly powered by my own metabolism through the magnets embedded in my skull. It's beautiful. Nobody else is here. You hear the gentle hum of experiments running in the corner. This kind of technology is so far beyond what we're capable of reproducing in the colony. Tang sighs, rubbing her temple under the implant. Once they're gone, they're gone. Maybe Earth will send us a shipment of new ones someday, but I expect they've developed something more advanced since we left Earth. I suppose it's more likely they've forgotten about us completely. Brr, brr. The quiet hum of the laboratory is shattered by an alarm. Need empathy 41 or greater. Damn, my empathy is at 35. I can't help with the migraine. The quiet hum of the laboratory is shattered by an alarm. Tang jumps at the sudden noise and shuts her eyes tight. I have to get this, she mutters, gesturing in the air to silence the ringing. The simulation I'm running is time sensitive, she explains. The specimens require minute changes to their environment every 2 hours. Temperature, humidity, light levels. She grimaces. If we had better automation, this wouldn't be a problem. I could do it. Kanji considers this. Yes, you have proven yourself trustworthy in the lab, she says. It's experiment 2A on the wall there. She slumps down on the floor beside you, rests her head on her arms. Go tell me what you see and I will walk you through it. With Tang's assistance, you set the new environmental parameters for experiment, which seems to involve fungal growths of some kind. It's unfamiliar to you, but you're able to follow Tang's instructions easily. While you're looking over some of the specimens, you realize that you can make improvements to Tang's modeling. No, I'm going to return to her. You think better of messing with Tang's experiment. Tang breathes a sigh of relief when you return. That should buy me 2 more hours. Tang shifts over, wordlessly inviting you to sit down beside her. Her arm is cool to the touch as it rests against yours. Tang turns to you. Thank you for your assistance. Let me take care of you. Tang gives you a slight smile, barely visible in the faint glow of her hollow eye. People always tell me I should take better care of myself, she says. And they're right, because when other people try to take care of me, they usually get it wrong. Only I know what I need. But you helped, Tang says. Thank you. Please don't tell Instance that my body is adjusting poorly to a hollow eye, she adds. It's only temporary. This stupid flesh prison is not allowed to draw the limits of my form. Okay. What was I doing? It's this. You leave the front gates and see Dis talking to one of the senior surveyors. He listens intently to their instructions, and the surveyor hands him a satchel of instruments and claps him on the shoulder before walking away. Dis turns to you. Hey, Goobs, he says. He hikes the satchel on his shoulder and gives you a shy smile. So kind of weird to be allowed to be outside the walls. Leave him alone to do his work. Dis looks pretty busy, so you say goodbye and let him get back to his work. You'll have to let him keep some of his secrets for now. Oh yeah, I was gonna go foraging. I should probably survey the ridge, though. This might be the way that I, activate the hunting. You report to the expedition's tent to find not just Utopia, but Security Chief Rhett and Vase as well. I just can't spare any more of my people, Utopia's explaining to them. You've already pulled almost all the foragers, and we're already running skink crews in the ridges as it is. There's one person you can spare, Rhett replies, turning to face you. Hello, Goobs. How'd you like to transfer onto one of my hunting parties? Utopia tells me you're one of her best explorers. We could use someone like you. He indicates Vase. I need someone who can keep up with this one. Vase puffs his chest out proudly. Why do we need to kill them? Vase laughs. Because they're killing us, Goobs. Keep up. He clenches his fist. It's the classic struggle between humanity and nature, he says. Nature's not all flowers and rainbows. On Earth, everything and everyone was trying to kill each other. For survival, for food, hell, even just for fun. I can't wait to bag a real trophy Xeno, he chuckles, framing his hands like a painting on a wall. The first 10-point buck on Vertumna. Sounds good to me. Rhett nods. Good, I'm glad to hear that, he says, then turns to Vase. But first, I need to make sure you know the basics. Vase, bring out the Vriki. Vase goes over to a tent and brings back the Vriki on a long chain. It's sprightly and bright-eyed, some might even say cute, and comes up nearly to your waist. Face looks proud of his duty as monster bearer. I taught this one myself, Rhett tells you. I'm adding it to the training zoo, so don't kill it, but feel free to give it a few pokes. Then tell me, what are its weaknesses, its strengths? How would you defeat it in a fight? I know this. Okay, I'll change these to blue. That's not helping at all. Okay, one left. Jesus. Okay, I can push through. You studied the creature for a long time. It looks nervous, skittering from side to side and making a clicking noise. You throw a stick at it and it leaps up and grabs it in its mandibles. It angrily tears it in half, then glares at you. You think about your own pet, Squidly Peterson. This one is larger and fungus-like, maybe even close to the end of the mobile part of their life cycle. You know that one day all Rickies must take root and become nurse trees for the next generation. You rattle off some other facts you've learned from playing with Squidly Peterson, and Rhett nods. Good, Rhett says. Let's see if you're as good at hunting these as you are at identifying them. Come join the hunting squad next month and we'll see how you do in the swamps. Ooh, additional gear. Yeah. You're about to set off on your gliders when Diz stops you. Actually, he says, looking around furtively, I want to show you a place I found when I was scouting. You look up from your holo map. It's not on any map, yet, he says. It's special. I want to show you because I think you're the only person in the colony who'll understand what it means. You and Diz set off, hoping for a few hours before the trackers in your holopalms ping Utopia that you're not where you said you'd be. After a short trek off map, this takes you to a round door set into the side of a cliff. The door is glossy black and made of something that's part bone and part stone, like the rest of the Convergent Domain architecture you've seen. Unlike the ruins, this place looks, well, not new, but definitely well maintained. This touches his fingers to the center of the door and it dilates like an iris, previously unseen seams folding in on themselves with a noise like rocks grinding together. Inside is a lumpy, smooth tunnel that reminds you unpleasantly of intestines. It looks like you could barely fit in there, on hands and knees. An unexpectedly cool wind ruffles your hair. Dive on in there. You both crawl and inch your way through the tunnel to where the cave opens up, about 10 or 15 meters in. You stand in a cave that looks part organic and part intentional, a curious mixture of almost organic-looking stone growths, crystals, and glowing mushrooms in a riot of iridescent, oil-slick colors, some of which look like they could be controls for an ancient bioweapon. Your view deeper into the cave is obscured by layer-caked stalagmite pillars. Everything is dark but for the eerie glow. You're using your holopalms as flashlights, but it's air-conditioned. Cool, fresh air is blowing from vents in the floor. I haven't figured out what this place is for yet, Diz says, touching a mushroom with his fingertip. It puffs out a cloud of glowing spores, and he sneezes. You spread out to see if you can decipher this place. Like, what the heck is that glowy thing on the ground? You pick up another strangely warm, glowing whatever it is. And how about that writing on the wall? There's a huge faceted crystal plate embedded in the wall, engraved with deep glyphs. Conversion domain writing, you guess. In some kind of map? There are lines between the symbols. You trace your hand over it, but can't make any sense of it. Well, what in the world is that console-looking thing? If it's a screen, it's all dark, like when Congruence is inactive. Unlike Congruence's colorful decorated chassis, this has a decidedly alien tech feel. You feel around, touching things at random. Don't do that, hisses Diz, but nothing happens. What if I did this? Diz makes a shocked noise as the reality of the cave melts away, and you find yourself back in the depot. No, not back. Not entirely. You can still feel the cool, moist breath of the cave on your cheeks, can still smell the funk of the mushrooms, but everything else is exactly as you'd expect, as real as if you could reach out and touch it. You feel embodied, like you can feel the pressure of your feet on the ground. Utopia walks through Dis, rematerializing on the other side to talk to one of the other surveyors. Dis passes his hand through her image with amazement. Are they spying on us? He breathes. The image of Utopia doesn't seem to hear him. You take your hands off the controls, and the cave returns. Dis blinks at you in a sudden gloom. What the hell was that? He says. It was like we were really there. Like we were seeing out of the eyes of some kind of animal. Like we were the animal. Are the gardeners spying on us? Sim says they have eyes everywhere, Dis says. I didn't know he meant literally. We can't let Utopia know about this, he continues. We have to keep Sim's secrets. You agreed to keep this monitoring station a secret. A precarious natural land bridge drops down sharply on both sides here. Cross the bridge very carefully. And now I go home. +4 perception, +2 engineering. +1 friendship with Dis. The garden is a peaceful place where you don't have to think about how the colony is always simmering about being at war against the creatures of Vertumna. You can just sit and empty your mind, smelling the sweet perfume of flowers and listening to the wind rustle the green grass. It's one place to find peace, even when it feels like everyone else is losing their minds. We go hunting, we could get an animal. Go hunting. You look down at the drone rifle in your hands. This is the big leagues. Finally, you're going to get out there and take the fight to the enemy. No messing around out there, Security Chief Rat says. These animals are dangerous. They want to kill you probably as much as you want to kill them. Your job is to get to them first. Utopia sighs. And by no messing around, he means don't you go taking risks, she says. As head of expeditions, she's technically in charge of you in the field, though Red is the one who molded you for this. There'll always be animals out there, but you're a lot harder to replace. If you take down anything edible, she adds, tag it for reclamation so we can bring it back to the colony. Vase is practically humming with excitement beside you. Red pairs you up to head out together, and Vase sighs. I don't need a buddy, he grumbles. No offense, Goobs, but you only hold me back. Red shakes his head. You two are a good match, he insists. I want you to watch each other's backs out there. Stay within transceiver range of each other at all times. You might not always be able to reach the colony or Utopia, but you'll have each other. Never engage the enemy alone. Won't let you down, sir. You guess if Security Chief Red says you need to have a buddy, Vase isn't a bad choice. He's handy with a rifle, at least. Red takes off on his glider, and Vase turns to you. You better keep up with me, he sneers. We might be stuck together, but that doesn't mean I need your help. I'm gonna get all the kills and all the kudos, so just let me do all the work and stay out of my way. The subaqueous swamps are especially dangerous, Utopia says. Something in the air makes the beasties here all kinds of fickle. Could be the storms, but normally docile creatures are a lot more aggressive. She bites her lip. And to be perfectly straight with you, there's some darn scary things out there in the swamps. How much love that we're sending you kids out into a literal war zone, Utopia says. I've been to the swamps before all this war business, and it's a beautiful place, even if it is real spooky. Hurts my heart to see soldiers tromping all over it. She summons up a smile. But I know teenagers can be just as capable as adults when it comes to surveying and hunting, she says. You've got faster reflexes and stronger stamina than a lot of these old codgers. Just try not to take stupid risks out there, okay? Promise your honorary auntie? Vase scoffs. You're not my aunt, he mutters, and I don't need a coward telling me what I'm capable of. Ooh. If you don't speak to Utopia with some damn respect... The worst thing about hunting in a bog is, well, the bog. You're up to your knees in sticky, clinging mud, sucking at your boots when you try to move. You're stuck. You poke at it with a stick, then lose the stick. How deep does this go? Oh, my creativity is not high. It's at 24. Reasoning is at 40. Oh, I need 40 engineering. Damn, just wade through it. Vase has wisely taken to have you go first, so he watches from the safety of drier ground as you strike out ahead. If there's a deepest point this way, you haven't found it. You submerge yourself to the waist and start to panic as the bog begins to suck you down. Uh-oh! Vase just laughs at you from the shoreline as you slip and get sucked in up to your armpits. You panic and flail and make it worse. Finally, you grab some vines and slowly drag yourself out. You're exhausted and filthy and shaking from fear. You weren't even in real danger, dummy. Vase snickers, then leaves to find a better route. Where's the gold part? It's a manicore! I don't need to get close to that. You and Vase are walking down a path made by some creature, probably bush bubs. They like to make paths. What you find, though, isn't a bush bub. It's a snap bladder, a much more aggressive foe. You've seen nests of the thing squirming around and crying out, trying to lure people into their hungry mouths. But this one is on the move. It's crawling across the path. Slowly. From its round, lumpy form, you wonder if it's pregnant. These things are a danger to surveyors and could potentially kill someone who fell into a brooding nest. They swell up so huge they can't move anymore and instead half bury themselves and lie in wait for prey to come too close. Ugh, you take this one, Vase says, gesturing to the lumbering beast. It looks like your speed. Animals challenge, combat challenge. This one's easier. What? Oh. Six, four, 2. 2, 3. 3, 4. 2, 3, 5. 5. 4, 5. Give up. +2 combat. You take out your blast cutter and do a cool spinning move, jumping off a few logs and jamming the tool into the slap bladder. It exhales a cloud of noxious acid mist. Vase applauds. I forgot which direction I was going. What the hell? Is that a faceless? A baby faceless? Despite being told to watch your back, Vase has gone off ahead and probably found something to kill indiscriminately. To add insult to more insult, he's left you with his heavy pack, like you're just here to carry his stuff. You huff and sling the pack on your shoulder, trying to follow Vase's tracks in the soggy ground. Your hollow palm transceiver tells you he can't have gone far. You're so absorbed in tracking Vase that you don't notice something tracking you. It steps out from under the bow of a gloop willow and blocks your path. There's something deeply unsettling about it. It's some sort of chimeric beast on its bottom half, wrapped in tattered strips of flesh, though from torso up it looks almost humanoid, complete with stars. Is it holding a weapon? Most upsetting is how its collarbone seems to unzip in a chaotic fleshy mess of teeth, revealing a neck of glistening sinew and muscle. Its insectoid face seems to truly see you, a shrewd intelligence in its milky eyes. They speak. I am Noctilucent, a gardener. Their voice is rough and wheezy, and they struggle to form the words as if their larynx was not designed for language. They take a deep, raspy breath. You are associate to the divergent process symbiosis. You are vermin, a weed. You do not belong in the garden. Wait, they know Sim? You bravely raise your eyes to their face, cataloging the ways you see the seed of Sim's slightly inhuman features staring back at you. Their hair is a bit like Sim's as well, as if it's actually alive somehow, waving in a wind that isn't there. Whatever they are, they wait patiently for your response. The delicate petal-shaped weapon in their hands hums ominously. Why have you been trying to kill us? I'm on your side. They laugh. You think? It's more like a crunching sound. It makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. They seem to have exhausted their ability to maintain small talk with you. They continue regarding you, studying you. You try to look around them for Vase, but you realize if they're anything like Sim, they've orchestrated this meeting with you alone. They point the weapon at you and say, "Gun, you understand? I kill you." That's way too difficult. Attacking Noctilucent. My combat is not high enough for that. Are you going to? Noctilucent pauses. No, they respond. Then, maybe. We don't have to fight, we can coexist. Too difficult. Goal is 110. I'm not winning this. Six, 5, 5. Okay, I can always try. What if... Nope. Okay, I'll turn that into a blue first. It's not gonna work. I can only do 35 stress. I'm gonna do something else. Electrical storms can be a real danger when you're slogging through swamps, and not just because of the obvious. Something in the frisson of electricity in the air draws previously unseen creatures to the surface, their behavior strange and unknown. Something like a giant electric eel has surfaced here, and it's lifting a long antenna out of the water. It looks like it's trying to attract lightning. Maybe we should give it what it wants, Base says, pulling on a pair of stun gloves and grinning sadistically. Hit it with drone rifles instead. Well, it doesn't like that. With a cracking hiss, it shoots lightning at you. By 4. 4, 5. I can't get this at all to do what I want. My god. Get another hand. What the fuck? Why do I still have the giggling? Yeah, that was pretty hard. Avoid it. No? You have to go through this. Let Vase zap it. No! God damn it, Vase! Or... yeah, this isn't gonna work out. Oh, just defeated. You're both caught in the jolt and thrown backward. Ouch! You can feel your heart thump double time in your chest, stunned by the shock. Then a great lightning bolt from the sky hits the creature's antenna. Psst, zap! The creature looks downright ecstatic at the flow of energy, and not at all stunned or hurt. It gives you another meaningful glare, then dives back under the water. +3 animals, +2 combat. And that's it for the stream. Okay. Can we do a raid? I think I'll just end the stream here. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. I'll be back tomorrow with Pikmin 4. Bye bye.